endangering our
Y'all
police.
know what it is.
We're not going to let that
It's
happen.
your boy. Another hard hitting shot shit that got me blowing on something fat is one of my favorite. Trump
is safety.
and their
safe area. We have Los Angeles was under siege until
giving
we
an
got
understanding
there.
about
The police were unable to handle it. You can speak to the chief. He said
the
it on
raiding
television
and
3 nights
the
ago.
riding down in LA
this
on
is
the
more than
ICE
we can
raids, and
handle.
he's
He
giving
said that. And
briefing.
the LA police, I know a lot of the police in LA, they're great people, but they're given instructions not to do this, not to do that. But in this case, they were trying their best. They were not able to handle it. It was out of control. When we got there, and you have to remember, I've been here before.
Again, any video I saw owned by the owners,
I
and
went right by every rule.
this is for entertainment
I
and
waited for
educational
governors to
purposes
say,
only.
Send in the National Guard. They wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do
And
it.
anything I say may
It kept
be
going on and on, got worse and worse. And in Minneapolis,
tricking to me
it was
alleged.
burning down 7 days, and I said, I don't care. The governor, who's the governor that just happened to be running for vice president, the total, you talk about an incompetent governor, he's an incompetent person. That he was picked, well, I was actually very happy he was picked for other reasons. But this guy wouldn't call the National Guard. And we ultimately just sent in the National Guard. We stopped it. But that was after
Trump says that
myself,
part of his reason was that he didn't want to let Los Angeles burn down. So he sent the National Guard in to maintain the status quo while he's considering, while he's actually saying, he didn't want LA to burn because of the Olympics. It's coming. And he said if he didn't step in, Governor Newsom wasn't going to handle his business.
Right now, Los Angeles would be burning to the ground.
The Marines is a lot of people think an escalatory step, though. These are guys who fight wars. Are you at all concerned that things could get out of hand with Marines?
When I see people throwing concrete into cars, when I see people, the kind of people that I saw on your network doing danger to the police and to the military and to the National Guard, no, it's okay. You know, you start running out of people. When you have 2,000 people from a National Guard standpoint, we have a very big military. But the National Guard, they needed a little extra help. And we sent them a little, and we did a great job last night. We had a lot of cars go up.
Yes, we're watching the
and a lot of bad scenes, but it was
Trump's tape.
It was pretty minor by comparison. This morning,
and he seems to always he makes decisive decisions.
They know if they go there,
but you need a decisive decision maker in power.
With a number of Marines.
Do you agree with Governor Abbott's new signing legislation to mandate Ten Commandments in school classrooms?
Having to do with what?
The Governor Abbott is soon going to sign legislation to mandate displays of the Ten Commandments in school classrooms. Do you support him?
I have to take a look at it. I'm going to have to look at it.
Will the National Guard be in California indefinitely? How long will they be there until you think?
Until there's no danger.
So he said the truck will be there until no danger.
That question. When there's no danger, they'll leave.
Trump is issuing a press conference. What we're looking at is a press conference on why he's sent the National Guards in there until he say that, until he feel like he said he feels like until he feel like it's safe. He's not gonna allow Newsom to dictate. So he's standing his ground. It's disrespectful to Newsom, but Newsom feels like, but Trump feels as though it's gonna burn down if I let Newsom make some indecisive decisions. We'll be sitting there being indecisive, and he said LA will be burnt.
I condemn the violence.
But that's just a quick.
But I also stopped the violence in LA.
Tape, and he stopped.
What I did, I stopped the violence in LA. And that would have been, I think, maybe I'd ask Christie to speak to that. That would have been an unbelievable tragedy. We would be talking, I don't know, that would even be here right now. It would have been so bad. I'd probably maybe be out there. I don't know, but Christie, could you speak to that?
Absolutely. So in 2020, I was a governor of a neighboring state to Tim Walz and watched him let his city burn. And the president and I talked about this in the past, and he was not going to let that happen. to another city and to another community where a bad governor made a bad decision. So
So
Claudia
they
Sheinbaum
nut
came
more
out and
pouring
encouraged more
salt on the
protests
wound
in
to
LA,
Newsom,
and I condemn her for that.
you know. But
She should not be encouraging violence.
that's
while
what Trump's
protesters are
standing
allowed
on.
to be peaceful, are allowed
You know.
to peacefully protest.
Love me, like
But
me,
the
hate me,
violence that
share
we're seeing
me.
is
Get
not
me out
acceptable.
there.
It's not gonna
I'll holler.